Hello, my name is Philip and welcome to My Masterbuilt 800. Here in West Tennessee, fall has finally arrived. Temperatures down in the 50s, upper 40s, cloudy, looks like it's going to rain. In other words, perfect chilly weather. So today we're going to be doing OTT or over the top beef cheek chili. It is so good. So let's get started. First, I'm going to create the base. Yesterday, I diced an onion and about 3 ancho chilies and put them in the pan. Thank you, brother. With a little oil over low heat and just stirred until the onions became tender. Now, today I'm going to add my other ingredients. I have ancho chili powder, guajillo chili powder, I don't know what that is, and chipotle powder. I have a large can of crushed tomatoes, 2 regular cans of stewed tomatoes, a can of green chili, and beans. Now, a lot of controversy about beans. If you don't like beans, leave them out. Not a big deal, okay? So first, let's start with the chili powder. For the ancho chili powder and the guajillo, I'm going to use 1 tablespoon each. And because I don't know how hot the chipotle is going to be, I'm only going to put a half a teaspoon of that, tablespoon of that in. If the next time I make it, I'll adjust accordingly. You know, if I got these off of Amazon, and it was a 3-pack. And what I wanted was the ancho and the chipotle, but that other one came with it. Like I said, I don't know how that tastes. So after getting the dry spices in, let's just give it a quick stir with the onions and the ancho chili, dried anchos. Well, I guess they're dried jalapenos. I'm not sure what ancho comes from. But anyway, add the can of tomatoes, the crushed tomatoes. Two cans of sliced stewed tomatoes. I like the sliced stewed tomatoes because of their, I guess, chunkiness. They give uh, in my opinion, a good bite when I chew them or as I eat. Kind of like having cherry tomatoes in a salad. You know, you get that sudden burst. Then we add this is a large can of green chilies. I wanted to use hatch chilies. I couldn't find them around here. And then the beans. So that is about as simple as you can get. I'm not going to add salt yet. And the reason for that is yesterday I took my beef cheek and coated it with salt and pepper rub uh, pretty liberally and allowed that salt to help permeate the meat better overnight. So I don't want to take a risk of going too salty. I can add salt later, but I can't take it out. Now here's what makes this over the top. I have this stainless steel grid mesh. I don't even remember where I got it from right now, but I just lay it on top of the pot. Lay the beef cheek on top, and we're ready for the grill. I have the grill set at 225. So I'll take this out, insert a probe, close the lid, and just let it go until I get an internal temperature of about 160, 165, somewhere around there. And we will be back in here at that point, and I'll show you the next step. I don't think you're going. Well, I know I'm not going to show you me putting this on the grill because I just opened the lid and set it on it. That's all there is to it, you know. So let me say a word about this first. Over the top like this allows all the juices and collagen, the fat and everything that renders out of the beef cheek to drip down into the chili base. If you're the type that doesn't like the grease or wants to minimize as much as you can, after this is done, put it in a refrigerator. The grease, of course, will rise to the top, let it solidify, and then just peel off as much as you can. You won't get it all, but what's left, I don't think will be very noticeable. So we'll be back when it's time for step 2. Well, we're back. It's been about 6 hours since I put it on. That was at 9:40. It's about 2:30 now. And I forgot to add earlier that I had the grill set at 225. And when I put the charcoal in, I added hickory chunks to develop that smoked flavor. The beef cheek was about 1.5 pounds, give or take a little bit. So that's what we have. This is how it's looking right now. But before I go any further, here's a short montage of how it looked cooking. Only about 30 seconds, so stay with us. We're back. So the beef cheek is looking really good. It has a nice bark on it. The chili is hot. What did I do with those pot holders? There they are. Let you get a good look at that. Stir it up some. That is exceptionally thick. So I think what I'm going to do is add some liquid to it, which is why I have a can of beef broth just for this. So we'll pop this open, add some, stir. Looks like it might take about this whole can here. Because the next step is I'm going to cube the cheek, add it to the pot. I've got my oven set at 300. Yes, 300. And I'm going to pop it in there and let it finish. It doesn't need any more smoke. So let's get on with that part. Plus, in that pot, it's not going to get any more smoke. Man, that looks good. Look at that smoke ring in there. The smell is wonderful. But as you can probably guess, a beef cheek might well be the most used muscle on a cow. I mean, I guess if they're not sleeping, they're chewing something. either grass or cud, something like that. So let's just cube these up a little bit. Add them to the chili. When I put these in the oven, I'm going to leave them probably a couple of hours. Let's see. I'll probably take them out around 5, and then we'll be back to give it a test or a taste. I have done this before, never on the Masterbuilt, and I am pretty confident of how good it's going to be. Confidence, ruined a lot of people. I don't think this is going to be, I'm going to be one of them, I hope. The bark is just great. And of course, it's going to go away. What did I do with my? Well, I don't know. There it is over yonder where I can't get to it. So, let's give this a stir. It might even need some more liquid in it. That looks pretty thick. I think I'll add some water. There. That looks good. So, put the lid on. I'm going to pop it in the oven, and we'll be back. It's 2:44. About 5:30, somewhere around there. We'll just see how it goes. Good morning. We're back. I say good morning because it's actually the next day. I ran into a time conflict yesterday afternoon. And after I ended yesterday's afternoon, I took a little taste of the chili and realized I had forgotten an ingredient, and that was the cumin, or do you pronounce it cumin? So I added a half a tablespoon of cumin to the chili, stirred it real good. Then I put it in the oven, had the oven set at 300. And then after about 2 hours, I checked the internal temperature of the meat, and it was all running right at 201, 205, in that neighborhood. So I went ahead and pulled the chili off. I let it set on the counter for a couple of hours to cool off some. Then I put it in the fridge. This morning, I put it on my stove, and the chili had thickened up quite a bit. So I added another can of beef broth, and that just gave it a good consistency there. I heated it over low heat till it was good and hot, and we're getting ready to see what it looks like. But before we do, I did some research. Uh, Ancho chili are made from poblano chilies. Uh, Not real hot, not real hard. Chipotle, I was mispronouncing that, are made from ripened jalapeno peppers. And that means normally we see a jalapeno, they're green, but after they turn red and dried, then it becomes a chipotle. The third one, which I couldn't pronounce and didn't know what it was, is a guajillo pepper. And it is made from a mirasol pepper. So to take a Mirasol pepper, dry it, and it becomes a guajillo. They are a low heat. They're in between the ancho and the chipotle. According to Google, they are 2,500 to 5,000 SHU, those Scoville units. Scovilles don't really mean, I don't understand them too much, but I know the higher the number, the hotter it is. So there's that little bit of information. So let's see how it looks. I already know how it looks because I've been stirring it. And the pot is hot. And it looks excellent to me. Maybe I should only put a half a can of the beef broth in. Doesn't really matter. So let's scoop out a little bit along with a piece of meat. And you can see it is looking very good. I didn't get me a spoon out. And it's good. Just like I knew it was going to be. Like I said, I've done this before. I've just never done it on the Masterbuilt. The chipotle pepper, I can feel the heat. It's not overwhelming, just enough to let you know it's there. People who like really hot chili would probably want more. I only used a half a tablespoon, so adjust to your liking. Uh, the beef cheek, let me say a little bit about it. I did not trim the cheeks at all. So there will be silver skin, bits and pieces that aren't really edible, which is what I just picked out of there. So I'm going to get another one here. What do you think of that? Mm. I love beef cheek. It's hot. Beef cheeks, when they're done low and slow, and I found that even after when I braise them, they come out almost gelatinous. They are silky smooth, soft, tender, except for the little extraneous matters that are still in there. You can trim the stuff off of the beef cheeks before cooking. I find it somewhat tedious, and it doesn't bother me that it's in there, so I don't. So, try beef cheek chili. It takes the chili to a next level. And of course, you can do over the top beef cheek chili with hamburger, chuck roast, whatever you like, your favorites. Stew beef, beef stew, what do you want to call it? So try it and you'll like it. And remember, they call me Mr. Tibbs.